It's something we work for our entire career, to have safety, simplicity, and strength in our later years. Independence. It means you only work if you'd like. You're not worrying about your next paycheck because your finances are stable. That you have a plan to create enough income to cover all of your needs and most of what your wants. Reaching financial independence is a pinnacle moment in a person's life. It's not easy, but with the right decisions, professional guidance, and self-control, you can make your future brighter. Here's how this video is laid out. I have 8 actionable tips for achieving financial independence that you can start implementing today. The last 3 are the most important. The last one, critical. Just because you may get tired of working, it doesn't mean your bills will get tired of being paid. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. This tells YouTube you like what I'm doing, and they'll be more likely to spread this message to help others. Okay, here we go. Number 1, create an action plan. Here's a quick story. I was running a 5K road race once, and I was leading the race. Okay, it wasn't exactly the Olympics. To make a long story bearable, I went the wrong way because I hadn't reviewed the course map beforehand. It was embarrassing, that I can tell you. Achieving financial independence isn't about one big plan coming to life. It's about completing a whole series of small plans on time. It's about staying on course and reviewing every year. It takes education, time, and research. If you haven't already, create a list of your goals so they're officially established. That way, you'll be able to look back and track your progress. Number 2, downsize your life. Do you have kids that are out of the house? Do you live in a town that has high taxes, like we used to in Deerfield? Maybe you own a second property you don't use. My very favorite wife, Jill, and I just downsized, and we haven't looked back. Whatever the reasoning may be, consider downsizing your life into a more modest and comfortable one. Downsizing or moving to an area with lower living costs is a great way to cut your overall living expenses without affecting your actual lifestyle. Number 3, save money, even if it's just a little. It's always a good idea to save money, no matter what's happening. Even if it's not much, saving money creates healthy habits and ensures you're always making progress towards the overall goal, which is financial independence. The key to saving more is self-control. The more frugal you are today, the more financially independent you'll be in retirement. Those added expenses, however small, they add up. The gas station soda, the cup of coffee before work, or the dinner out when there's food at home. It can certainly put a squeeze on your financial future. You'd be surprised how much you can save by merely spending a little bit smarter. Number 4, early on, develop an ice egg. I read this somewhere and it's kind of clever. It's not a nest egg. It's a use in case of an emergency ice egg. Nearly 80% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck. One of the first financial goals you should have is to set up an emergency fund in case an unplanned event happens. Not just that you'll be able to handle an emergency, but also that you won't be forced to sell investments when it's not ideal. A great part of financial strength is only selling investments when it's advantageous. In fact, the whole reason I'm an advisor now is because I didn't have a large enough ice egg in 2007. Watch my video, my why video. It's a wonderful story. Number 5, avoid consumer debt. Consumer debt can be a financial independence killer, especially credit cards with the ridiculous annual percentage rates. That alone can make you feel like you're playing credit card catch-up for decades. Try to focus on becoming debt-free rather than the latest trends or credit card deals. Those credit card companies love to give you seemingly great offers, but it's generally best to disregard them. Instead, focus on your livelihood and financial well-being. This is admittedly simple, but not easy. Number 6, pay less income tax. Here's a not so newsworthy newsflash. Heavy taxes can reduce your overall income, meaning it's harder to save and pay off debts. Not just that, but since most of America has the bulk of its savings in 401ks and IRAs and the like, the balances can be seducing. Unfortunately, if you don't know how much tax you're going to pay on that money, you don't know how much money you have. That makes planning a lot more difficult. When you're thinking about your future, talk to your financial professional about tax-saving options that could result in less money for Uncle Sam and more money for your retirement. Number 7, protect your nest egg. Avoid drawdowns. One way to maximize dollar returns is to minimize the amount your portfolio dips when markets take a turn for the worst. This is known as your max drawdown. Look for ways to minimize your downside risk without reducing your returns. To avoid bad emotional decisions when things get dicey, stop listening to the noise, turn off the television, throw away the business section, and stay off financial websites that will only add to your stress and encourage emotional decision making. Instead, develop a strategy for marginalizing downside risk and you'll sleep better at night. Number 8, have multiple sources of income. As I mentioned earlier, just because you get tired of working doesn't mean your bills will get tired of being paid. Those who have achieved financial independence have regular income streams to cover their needs and most of their wants. If they don't have a pension, they create one. There are many ways to look at this. Here's what I do. I consider what I call your income sustainability by asking 4 questions. How much income can you safely take out of your accounts? How long will your income last? Can you take out more income in the future? Is any part of your income guaranteed to be paid to you for as long as you or both you and your spouse shall live? If you're not clear on this, maybe you should be. Okay, so there you have it. 8 actionable steps for financial independence. Get started today. Financial independence means something different to each of you. To me, it means, and you can say this with me if you're not sleeping, it's a financial future full of safety, simplicity, and you guessed it, strength.